And gentlemen, welcome back to the den. We are back. We are back in the building. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. And, my apologies for my, 2-week, maybe 3-week hiatus. I really been, locked in and focused and, had a lot going on. I wasn't able to live stream these past few weeks, but we here, guys. We here, and we got a lot to talk about. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about this Chud the Builder loser that's been in the news, antagonizing black people, harassing black people, and, nearly unaliving a black man, right? So we finna go over, let me check and make sure. Okay, let me make sure my audio is in. What's up, DOD? Peace, brother. Peace to the family. We are in here, gentlemen. We about to cook up. If you guys can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Dave, what's up, family? What's up? What's happening? We here. If you watching this on the playback, make sure you guys like this video. Comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, hype this video, right? We got a discussion. We got to talk, gentlemen. We got to have a real discussion when it comes to this attack on black men, right? And we're going to discuss this debate between academics and this loser, Myron Gaines, which he's obsessed with us. And I want you guys to understand this. These people don't hate us as much as they say they do, right? This Chud the Builder loser that like to go around antagonizing black men, specifically black men, right? Because he feel mediocre to us, right? He feel inferior to black men, which I understand. We are the supreme being, right? And he was looking to catch a body. All of this is about this dude looking to catch a body. But it amazes me, right? It's amazing to me that you will have these tethers like Myron Gaines, right? Out here defending this BS, guys. Out here literally crashing out defending this guy, right? But we gonna break him down psychologically like we do over here as always. No feelings, nothing but facts, guys. Nothing but facts. Like I said, welcome back to the den. We are here. We are about to cook up. Gentlemen, make sure you guys like this video. And let's get into it.
Perfect.
What's up, man?
No, not much. So they were trying to have me react to a video. I think it was you and Sneeko. You guys were reacting to the conversation we had with Chud the Builder, or about Chud the Builder. I think the conversation went a little bit elsewhere, but it was for me. I thought it was I'm usually the person that is never, I'm not like Tariq Nasheed, where it's like, yo. And I think that's
when you start off saying something like that, I'm not like Tariq Nasheed. Like when black people say stuff like that, they just trying to say, well, I really don't defend black people. By the way, I'm one of the good ones. Even though Ack been cooking Myron and cooking Sneeko lately, but it just go to show you the weakness in DJ Academics when he say shit like, oh, I'm not Tariq Nasheed. Like, why you gotta say that? Why you just can't defend your people? Why you gotta say all that? Because you a coward. You want to be looked at as one of the good ones. Because I ain't got to say that. When I'm defending black men, I ain't got to say, well, I'm not like Tariq Nasheed. I'm not like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. No, I'm going to stand on business for black men. Simple as that. This is cowardice that you guys are witnessing right here from DJ Academics. Just by stating that, what he just said. He not Tariq Nasheed.
It's another place where Sneeko did a misstep, because I think he approached it like I was going to come with this black victimhood thing. And I was like, no, I'm not defending none of those points. What I'm defending here is that we have a certain individual, right? Whether you I don't know how you kind of grade racial relations within, among races at this point. I think they're better than a couple years ago when people were rioting. And this guy is going out of his way and he's using something that would seem legal, but it's not legal. He's saying it's my freedom of speech to be using slurs to offend you, piss you off, get you to a point that you could possibly, someone provoke you to, you could possibly attack me. And if you do it, man, I got this gun on my hip, I'm gonna put your brains on the pavement. And so Sneeko hopped on, and his opinion was this, and I guess you could chime in after that.
Yeah.
But this was the brunt of the debate. He said, well, here's the thing. He's like, I don't necessarily agree with what Chud the Builder does. However, I do think that, the black community or any community that allows a word to have like that much power, they should almost nerf the word, just like, repurpose it, or when people use it, just don't take offense.
Let me just break it down in simple terms for the gentleman out there. When they say, oh, it's just a word, listen to me. I'm not emotionally attached to the N word. It don't matter what word you call me. It's going to get met with disrespect or violence. So you can't trick me, keep talking about, because see, this is what they want, black men. They want you to receive the disrespect. And at the same time, they want to have control over how you react. Why y'all keep chimping out over a word? Why y'all keep chimping out over a word? Bro, you can call me a bitch and I'll get on your ass. It's the disrespect behind the word. See, they want to control the reaction from black men. Why they can go around and disrespect you in your face. That's just like me walking up to you guys and you with your wife or something, and I call your wife out your name. It's going to result in violence over a word. Let's stop playing games here. These people know exactly what they're doing, but they want to control the reaction. They want to control the response. They want black men to just sit there and receive the disrespect. I don't want black men to crash out over this word, but I'm going to tell you something. You are going to meet the wrong man, and he's going to handle that with violence. You better be prepared for it and not be like a coward, like Chud the Builder walking around with pepper spray and a gun, instigating these interactions.
And my point to him was, that's just not, like, if we go back in the history of all etymology, like, that's just not how words are used and repurposed and put into place. If I say certain words to you about whether your religion or your mom or anything that's sacred to you, and also the thing with Chud, when disrespect is intended, even if it wasn't that word, he would have found the word to put the disrespect in. So it's hard to avoid when someone is seeking disrespect. If, I said earlier, and I'll throw it to you after this, I said, if, because I'd seen a small part of, like, I guess you went on a tirade, and you said, well, if there is a little bit of black fatigue. And I said, well, here's the thing. When I look at, like, white people, I do think white people are kind of tired of not being able to be themselves, not being able to, like, be proud of being white. Because
that is so stupid to say, bro. That is so dumb. Academic really said that white people are tired of not being themselves. What do that mean? What do they mean? How? What? They tired because they can't be racist towards black people? That's what you're saying, DJ Academics? Like, what does that mean? Because I hear white America say that we are tired. We want to be ourselves. Who's stopping you? Who's stopping you from being yourself? You just want to be a racist piece of shit. Knock yourself out. Just be prepared for what's going to happen. See, they want to control and dictate the consequences. And that's not going to happen. You can be yourself. This is a free country. This is America. But to hear DJ Academics say some weak ass shit that white people are tired from not being themselves, what do that mean? I'm not understanding this. Exactly, David. Exactly. See, they not going to support nothing positive, right? They only want to support something. You got to think about this. Look at what white America is defending. A loser, mediocre white boy that's going around antagonizing black men. He ain't building a business. He not doing nothing productive. He not doing nothing for the white male youth out here. He not doing nothing to uplift the white community. He's not building nothing. All he doing is crashing out, and they throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars at him. But DJ Academic want to say something like, white people just not, they just want to feel, they tired of not being themselves. They have always been themselves, DJ Academic. They have always been themselves. But the thing is, they can't control the consequences that come after being themselves. Because we're not, listen to me, we're not going for the disrespect. I don't care what y'all want to call it. Chimping out. Oh, black men can't control their emotions. Okay. Disrespect me and see what happened to you. And you can call me whatever you want to call me. But I guarantee you it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go.
Historically, in the last 10 years or so, it has been where it's like, hey, if you're proud to be white, you're proud to be racist, right? And it's almost been like synonymous. And I do see like the tides changing on that. I don't have a problem necessarily with that. I have a problem when they're trying to combine those movements with a guy who is not like, if he was walking up to white people, be like, yo, we're fucking white. We're proud. We're Americans. And if that was his thing and he's going viral, I don't think he gets his backlash.
That's not going to go viral.
He makes his movement diametrically opposed to black people, trying to put them down and also trying to assert why he's proud to be who he is. And
listen to me, that's not gonna get him views. Going around saying that he's pro-white and he's happy to be a white American and he trying to galvanize the white community, that's not gonna give him support. See, these low IQ, low mediocre white males, they have to do some racist shit to get support from the white community. The white community don't support nobody doing nothing productive. Why you think all these white boy, these chud copycats out here trying to do the same thing? Because they see, oh, this is a way for me to run the numbers up, run the views up, get rich quick. As we can see, Chud done raised over $200,000, almost close to $300,000 by now. He got companies that's willing to put up $1 million bail for him. Look at what they advocating for. Look at what they defending. A loser. Like most of these white males out here, they are losers. So they have to resort to racism because ain't nobody checking for them. And you know the most attention that they can get is talking about black people. But my question to the gentleman in the chat, what happened to black fatigue? I thought they had black fatigue. I thought they was tired of black people. Chud the Bussy was going out there looking for confrontation from black men. But I thought y'all had black fatigue. Y'all sit on stream and watch him do this. But I thought y'all had black fatigue. All these black conservative channels want to tell us how they tired of black people. Nick Fuentes, faggot ass, want to talk about how he don't want to live around black people. He don't want to go around do this. Then why are y'all watching streams of Chud the Bussy going around antagonizing black men? Because if I'm tired of something, gentlemen, I'm not even going to watch it. If I got fatigue of something, I'm not going to be around it. These people was funding him so that he can continue to go on the street and try to catch a body and continue to disrespect black men. So are they really fatigued? These people is obsessed with us, just like they boy Charlie Kirk. May he rest in shit. His whole identity, his whole platform was talking about black people. If they don't talk about us, they don't get no views. If they don't talk about us, they is not relevant. If these black conservative channels don't talk about how black people this and pull up random clips on the internet of black people doing something stupid, they don't get paid. They don't get money. We is the golden ticket for these people. We don't even be bothering these people. Y'all got to think about this. These black people that Chud was walking to, wasn't nobody bothering them. But black fatigue, right? Okay.
So I thought it was a bad representative of any argument that anyone could have trying to support him. And the sneaker argument happened. What say you?
Yeah, so I think it's important, right, to kind of understand that, like, a lot of the clips that go viral from Chud, right, those clips went viral because of the altercation. But obviously, nothing gets clipped when he's having conversations with people, when they're chopping it up about stuff more positive. Only the negative stuff goes viral. Me and you both know this, being in this industry, that, you know, the good stuff is never clipped, right? When you say
what good stuff? And I just want to, you know, before this tether get to rambling and babbling, I don't take anything Myron say serious. So whatever Myron got to say is none and void. Myron is a degenerate. He's a simp. He's a loser. He's an African tether. He's a homosexual. So what he got to say is really none and void. So I don't really understand why DJ Academics want to talk to Myron about how black people is responding to disrespect, because we really don't care what Myron got to say. It's pointless. Myron gonna defend racism no matter what because he picked his side, even though they don't even accept Myron. But he gonna defend it no matter what. But Myron started off with this conversation saying that, oh, they don't clip the positive stuff when he having conversation. What positive shit do Chud do? Show me. What positive stuff? Positivity don't go viral. Positivity don't get clipped.
Things that are positive where you help people out. They never clip that. They only clip when you're, crashing out on Meek Mill or saying, oh, fuck you, Rory, or some other shit. So I think that's important because us as content creators, we understand that we always get clipped, sometimes at the craziest moments that don't necessarily reflect us. Now, with that said, let me be clear about this. I don't agree walking around and antagonizing people. I think that's probably not a good idea. And I actually messaged him about this as well. Now, with that said, when I talk about Chud and I talk about what just went down with this shooting, I'm speaking from the scope that based on the information that I saw and what people told me that were actually watching the live stream. Did you hear what was like the narrative? What's been said?
Please. Well, I've heard one narrative, but I want to hear what you've heard.
Yeah. So basically, from people that watch the stream, it goes down like this: he's walking around, and a group of people, presumably with whoever this guy was there, pointed at him and started laughing. So he walks over, he says, hey, you guys like my suit? How's your day? Blah, blah, blah.
And let's just start right there. And I want you guys to really listen to this story that Myron finna paint, right? It's some shit that he made up, some shit that he talking about he heard from the people on the stream, a bunch of degenerate, low IQ white people. Some people was pointing at Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder walked over and said, hey, guys, do you like my suit? Do that make sense, gentlemen? And we finna slow walk this because I want you guys to help me make this make sense. Some black people was laughing at Chud, pointing at him. And Myron went over, Myron and Chud also stated this in the police report, that he walked over there and said, do you guys like the suit? Do you guys see how stupid do this sound? Let's keep going.
This is outside the courthouse, right? Because that's also
outside the courthouse.
Okay.
It's in this vicinity, yeah. One of the guys says, hey, get out of here. And he says, well, I have the right to be wherever I want to be and walk where I want, right? Okay. He starts walking away. Then he walks about 50 to 100 feet or yards away, whatever it may be, and the dude...
He said he walked to 50 to 100 yards away. That's a football field. But they end up scuffling on the ground, as you guys saw in the video that went viral. I want you to listen to what Myron's saying right now, right? Myron has to make this make sense, gentlemen, because of his hatred towards black people. Myron has to make up a scenario to try to justify Chud the Bussy shooting a unarmed black man that was defending himself, right? He walked over, black people pointing at him. Let's break it down. He said that, hey, guys, you like my suit? When have y'all seen Chud say some shit like that in any of his videos? Dude told him to get away. He walk off. Chud walk off 100 yards. Football field. But they on the court property. They on the premises of the court. So dude ran 100 yards to meet him to fight? Take notes, gentlemen.
Walks up to him and says, I got PTSD. You better not say that I'm going to chip out or call me the N-word, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay. So he says, or what? You're going to chimp out? And the fucking guy punches him, right? He punches him. The camera falls. You hear some tussling for a few seconds, and then you hear shots fired, right? Now, when it comes to those facts and circumstances, right? Mm-hmm.
He said facts and circumstances. These are not facts. What Myron just stated is not facts. This is hearsay. He said he got this information from Chud the Builder's viewers. How credible are those guys? Because they want to see the degeneracy that Chud is doing, the anti-black racism that Chud is doing. So how credible is these viewers telling Myron this information? And Myron just said that this is facts. How is this facts? Because you said it? What you just stated, nobody saw this. What you just stated, Myron, this is not on the police report. So you gonna boldly say that this is facts with no proof, no evidence.
That is self-defense. People don't have to like Chud. They don't have to agree with the content he makes. They don't have to, be a fan or not. But I do think that with what went down and the facts that we know right now, if they are that in that manner, in that order,
He said the facts that we know, if it's in that manner, in that order, you already contradicting yourself. Is it facts or not? That is not self-defense. And Myron knows this, but he has to look like a fool to try to justify this as a self-defense because of his anti-black racism. That's all this is. And Myron know deep down inside that he's a fool because his chat has been cooking him to the point where he had to turn off his comments on his videos. He's so much of a coward that he can't even take the backlash in his comment section that he had to turn the comments off on his video. This is facts, gentlemen. Go to his page. But we supposed to believe a lying, fleeing tether like Myron Gaines gonna tell us what's self-defense when he be on the internet every single day disrespecting black people, doing the monkey sounds, aligning himself with white supremacists. This dude ain't come with no proof, no evidence. Why you not showing us, Myron? Show us the proof that you talking about. We don't believe you. You need more people.
Likely he's gonna have a pretty strong self-defense case. But the thing that people need to understand, and me and you both know this, we talked about this last time we spoke. Whenever you have a high-profile case like this, like where someone that's high-profile was involved in an altercation or something happened, a lot of times the state is just gonna make an arrest to absolve themselves from responsibility so that they can kind of be like, oh, we're gonna pass the buck to grand jury. Like this literally happened to you. So you know what I mean? You were in.
No, they made the arrest because he shot somebody on the court's ground, you idiot. And this is y'all, to all you incels out there, to all you mediocre white boys that listen to Myron Gaines, this y'all king? This loser? And I can't wait until this case, go through trial and we just see Chud go to jail for 6 to 10 years. I hope he get the max. I doubt it, but I hope he get the max. He where he's supposed to be. But white America want to get on the internet. The conservatives want to get on the internet. The black conservatives want to get on the internet and talk about how black people so violent. They got black fatigue, the criminals. But at the same time, they are supporting a criminal. They got a rap sheet since he was a teenager, a drug dealer, a guy that's running out on his tab in Nashville, can't even pay for his food. He's a deadbeat father. His baby mama changed the name of his son because she don't even want to associate with him. He can't even see his own son. These are the people that these people are defending. But these are the same people that talk about baby mama, baby daddy culture. How black men don't take care of their kids. They ain't in their kids' lives. Chud ain't in his kids' lives. Chud got on the internet crying, talking about how his baby mama won't let him see his son. His baby mama, this how big of a loser Chud is. His baby mama know Chud is such a loser and a crash dummy. She said, I'm finna change his name so he won't have no association with this guy. You such a degenerate. I would not allow my son to hold the same name as you. Matter of fact, I'm running off with your son. His own family disown him. Even though they could be some racists too. But you got everybody else defending this dude. This dude been catching charges since he was a teenager. Google it. He got like 9 mugshots. But they want to portray black America as violent. Exactly, David. Myron want to talk about facts. He want to go off what the viewers are saying. He at a courthouse. There's surveillance all over that property. That's why they made the arrest. They have the facts. If it was just that simple As Myron trying to make it seem like Chud walked over to these people. He said, hey guys, do you like my suit? Even though we never seen him say no dumb shit like this. The guy told him to fuck off. He walked 100 yards away from the man. And Joshua Fox ran down on him and told him that he got PTSD and he swung on him. But they got into a scuffle. Come on now.
We all know you were. Bitches are lie all the time, but they still had to try to, let's push it to the grand jury because, we don't want to deal with any type of fallout. So when it comes to the Chud situation, the guy closed the distance on him, and typically whoever closes the distance is the aggressor, and Tennessee has a stand your ground statute. So once he punched him, it's all, game's on now at this point.
Games is not on at this point. See, this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. And Myron is going to lead his viewers to stray to the point where they're going to crash out. Because Myron really think that you can punch, if somebody punch you, that you can draw a weapon and unalive them. That's what Myron wants you to that's what Myron wants you guys to believe. You know how many people that's in jail right now because they got into a altercation in a fight and they shot that person, they unalived them. You know how many people in jail? Because people think just saying self-defense, it erased everything that you just did. You cannot shoot someone just because they punch you in the face. But Myron is going to galvanize these low IQ, white, mediocre white boys to believe that if somebody put their hands on you, you can resort to unaliving them. That's self-defense. Y'all think that y'all can just go unalive somebody and say, you know what? That's self-defense. It don't work like that. Ask the millions of men and people that's in jail that tried to use that same defense and they in jail for the rest of their life.
Right. So I'm with you on most of this. And so the narrative I heard, it omits the part that he basically just says, what's up, and walks away. Then the other guy approaches, right? So in the narrative I heard, he approached the guy. He's trying to have a conversation. The guy warns him. There is no walking away. So it appears that Chud walks up, and the guy warns him, hey, I have PTSD. Chud continues in their rhetoric back and forth. He then says a chimping out thing. A punch happens. But I'll dismiss what I've heard and go with what you've heard, just to continue the conversation.
Because the people I spoke to watched the stream.
The people he spoke to watched the stream, which is Chud the Builder supporters. How credible is those guys? How credible? It's some guys that support Chud the Bussy. We supposed to believe them? And if this true, think about this. This is something that can actually help Chud. I'm pretty sure y'all was screen recording this. Where's the video? Where's the evidence? Why is y'all going around with this narrative like this with no evidence, no proof? I'm pretty sure if it went in the way that Myron and and Chud the Builder supporters say that it did, where's the video? Show us the proof. You know why? You know why they can't show us the proof, gentlemen? Because it's all made up. It's a lie. It's a lie. And who gives a damn what they got to say? Who gives a damn what Chud the Builder and Myra Game supporters got to say? They're losers. Their hatred for black men specifically runs deep. I love it. I love when they say they got black fatigue. Let's give them more fatigue. I love seeing y'all crash out. Let's get more of y'all crashing out and go to jail. And let's see what y'all have that black fatigue when y'all around those millions of black men that's incarcerated. I want Chud the Builder to walk around with a phone, because you can get phone when you go to prison. And I want you to walk around a jail cell and say, oh, he chimping out. He chimping out. I just want you to do that, Chud. You a tough guy, right? No mace, no guns. You can make your own weapon. Let's see how that work out for you, Chud. You were exactly where you want to be. You ain't got to go to Nashville. You ain't got to go around to different cities. I was hoping you come to my city in Memphis. I don't condone violence, for YouTube purposes. I'm in Memphis. We would have welcomed Chud with open arms. Let me just say that. If he would have came down here to my city, we would have welcomed him with open arms. But he's in jail. It's plenty black men in there, so he should feel like home. I hope I hear some news that you around the jail antagonizing black men. I hope so.
Like I asked a couple of people that watched the stream, and that's what they said.
Okay, perfect.
So there's a short conversation.
So no facts, by the way. He said he didn't heard what some people said. But earlier in the stream, when I played the video first started, he said these are facts. This is hearsay, Myron. And you used to be a police officer. Why would you even say something that's idiotic like that? Some hearsay, but you stated on record on this video as facts. But you ain't presented no facts to us in this stream. Low IQ tethers, man. Low IQ Africans. See, these Africans are dumb, bro. Stupid. That's why they got to flee over here and get amongst us and try to cosplay as us. Because they are failures in their homeland. They understand that we are better than them. We are supreme than them. That's why they got to come over here with us. Yeah, I'm going to say it.
Conversation. The guy tells him, get out of here. He says, I could walk where I want and be where I want. It's a free country, something along those lines. He walks away. Then the guy closes the distance on him and makes the remarks about, you better not say that N-word around me or, say that chimping out shit. I got PTSD. And then he says, oh, are you going to chimp out? And that's when he punched him. And then obviously the fight began.
And this is where, okay, so just addressing that. All right. If what you're saying is right, and I have really no reason to believe that it's just like a complete lie. So I'm going to go with it.
It is a lie.
That happened. Well, self-defense is not utilizing deadly force, right?
Exactly.
Like I think deadly force, like, is defined by all 50 states, but even federally is like, if someone slaps you, it has to reach. So and this is the important distinction. I think a lot of people who like Chud or maybe supported in theory what he was doing, because he kept saying things like, hey, this is my First Amendment right, free speech. A lot of people didn't correct him in saying that, hey, listen, brother, you better go get a black belt or learn to squabble up, because what happens is if someone spits on you, you can't shoot them.
Right.
If someone knocks your hat off, you can't execute them.
Sure.
So even if I'm going with what you said, yes, I believe he was defending himself, but when you defend yourself, that's you fighting back. So it wouldn't be an assault charge if he had punched the guy back in the mouth or even beat the shit out of him. But when you grab a gun and then that was, by the way, it's in his intent. He said it multiple times. Hey, right. I'm leaving a chimp's brain on the pavement.
Right. He stated this on X. He made a tweet and said the series finale is a dead chimp on the pavement, me walking away free and black people in the streets rioting. This is premeditated. He has a history of this. So this is really like, I wouldn't even like Myron and a lot of these low IQ, white males out here that's defending Chud, this debate me bro shit. Y'all really wasting y'all time having conversations with these losers. It don't matter what facts you present to them. It don't matter the evidence. It don't matter the laws. It don't matter the truth. It doesn't matter. Myron is a tether. He's an anti-black racism. He's so far deep gone with these people, there's no coming back. So whatever happens to black people negatively, he's going to stand on that. So what's the debate about? Why are y'all wasting y'all time? Debate me, bro. Debate. That's all they want to do. Because after they get off their anti-black rhetoric, out the way, black people are crime, black people are criminals, and you know what's so funny about these gentlemen? If black people were so, violent like they say, why only one person put their hand on Chud out of all these altercations? Because a lot of black people didn't even do nothing to him. They walked away. They laughed it off. They like, bro, go ahead with that. Ain't nobody do nothing to him. But Chud had to keep pushing the burr. He had to keep poking the burr until one finally react. Because the narrative was breaking right in front of white America's eyes. because they wanted to see black people react violently, but it wasn't working. The narrative that they like to run with, it wasn't working until one black brother was fed up with it. And he put them paws on Chud. Because what you pull out a gun for? This is two men fighting. What are you pulling out a weapon for, you coward? You like 6'2", 6'3", 260, 250. And you had a gun? This is crazy. But this makes sense to Myron, though.
He's not saying that I hope no one threatens my life. He says these altercations where at times people are not even saying, I'm going to kill you. There's nothing that establishes, and you know, you're a former law enforcement agent, so you know better than me. There's nothing that he could, articulate that says, hey, I am in fear of my life. Someone punching you in the mouth is not in fear of your life. He didn't say that. I heard that audio where he was telling the cop. He never said, oh, the guy was trying to grab my gun. He didn't say, hey, I'm about to shoot you with my gun. Basically, trust me, I know you walk around with a gun. I walk around with a gun. There's a lot of Americans that walk around using and establishing their Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms. Whether it's concealed or not, usually everybody's in the know of saying or understanding that it's not the first thing you use towards any type of violent or threatening altercation. If someone says, I'm going to slap you, you can't shoot them and get away with it.
Fact.
If someone like bumps hard into you and you feel that was, like a act of aggression, you can't execute them.
Yeah, but when you a coward like Chud and a coward like Myron, the first thing they'll do is draw their weapons because they're cowards. They can't fight. They can't indulge in mutual combat between men. Have a fight, shake hands, going on about your day. Because they know they'll get beat up. Chud know he got beat up. That's why he pulled that weapon. He talking about dude was wailing on me and I had to defend myself. Okay, why you didn't wail on him back? Stupid. Y'all really think that he's finna get off on this? A dude punch him and you shoot him. This is the reason why Myron walks around. I walk around with my gun legally. But there's nowhere in my mind that I'm thinking that if I get into a physical altercation, if somebody punch me, I can kill them. Y'all really think that makes sense? But if y'all want to go around thinking that, good luck. We gonna see how this play out.
So someone punching this guy in the face, I think he had a severe misunderstanding for a while, thinking that if you touch him, he was well within his right to shoot you. And you tell me if you believe that's legal. So I'm saying he's defending himself. I'm saying he's not right to defend himself with a gun.
Fair. So you're trying to make the argument that the proportionality was off, right?
Yes, because usually most laws say there has to be proportional force. Yes, in terms of responding.
Let's switch Chud out. Let's say it's a 5'2" girl. Same exact fact pattern.
Here we go. Deflecting, changing the narrative. Let's just say it was a 5'2" girl. What they got to do with this case, bro? What they have to do with this case? You see the deflection, gentlemen, in 4K. Myron got to defend this shit to the death of him, bro. He has to make this shit make sense. Now he want to say, let Chud would have been a 5'2" female. Bro, it has to be on your knees for white supremacists, bro. It got to be a hard job, bro. Sucking the dick of these white males got to be a hard job, bro. And to be so confident at it is diabolical.
Can she shoot him?
No.
After one punch, I would say no. I mean, it would be heavily debated, though, with the jury, I can imagine. Heavily debated. Okay. Right? Like, if it's like, oh, this has been my abuser, there's some history there, I'm really scared, yes. In Chud's case, that's a tough sell. And again, here's my thing. He's been going around citing these, my First Amendment, my Second Amendment, but so you're going to roll the die on people thinking that your frame of mind was that you're scared or you thought your life was in danger when you're online saying for months,
Right.
I'm going to leave a chimp's brain on the pavement. And he said it was a season finale. Like all these things, these things are not going to get tossed. He's not going to be lucky like Luigi Mangione, who just got the backpack tossed out. All of these things are going to be active in your case.
Facts.
Nothing.
So
And
let me
again,
ask you this, Act. So for Chud, you believe that his use of force wasn't proportionate to what happened to him.
Yes.
So I said, because you believe one punch doesn't constitute as justification for deadly force.
Yes.
Fair. Then I asked you, well, what if it was a 5'1" woman and this dude punched her?
It'd be a better
Would you
case.
just punch again?
Be a better case.
Right?
This don't have nothing
It'd
to
be a better
do with the
right?
case, bro.
Perfect. So what you just did there, I don't think what you just did there was you basically made it, for their girl, the force is reasonable. Right?
What?
But for Chud, I don't think so. And this is why self-defense is so important. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what anyone thinks.
But what the
only
fuck
thing
is
that
he talking
matters
about?
is the person that used the force and what was going on at their mind at the time of the act when they pulled the trigger or decided to use deadly force. And
No, it don't, bro. No, it don't. Who gives a fuck? Myra think that it's all in your mind. It's up to me, guys. It's in my mind of what I can dictate what is self-defense. It's not up to me. It's up to the law and how they dictate what is the necessary force to use if my life is in danger. Chud's life was not in danger by a punch. He used deadly force. You idiot. But I expect nothing less from a failed African tether. Because they have a failed education system over there. Myron come from a failed lineage. That's why he's the biggest loser on the internet. And his claim to fame right now, that's only making him relevant, is be anti-black. This dude need to just throw in the tile. But he's, like I said, gentlemen, he's so far deep in. Myron is so slow. This dude is so stupid. And I'm gonna keep breaking it down, gentlemen. I have to. Because I really want you guys to understand what this coward is saying and what he wants the viewers to understand. See, intelligent, productive black men, we can break this down with no problem. It's really easy. Because all we got to do is look at the person that's talking. Come on now. Myron Gaines.
It's very important to know also, and I went into detail with this with a self-defense lawyer, one of the best lawyers in the country.
And he a racist
also
too.
agrees with me on this. When it comes to self-defense and using deadly force, within milliseconds, that decision could be made.
So,
Right?
I agree.
This is what protects people from getting wrongly prosecuted when they have had a reasonable inclination to believe their life was in danger. For example, let's say you get into a road rage incident, right? Mm-hmm. You get out the car, the other dude gets out the car.
Yep.
He says, fuck you, act, blah, 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 all this other shit. And then you see him go like this, right? And you see something silver. You pull out your piece and you shoot him, dead, right?
Most likely going to
But
be
then you
that.
find, right? And then, but you find out, it was a pocket knife, right? Or it was a cell phone. Well, now, would a reasonable person have reason to believe that after a car crash, right, a fender bender, and they're out on the street fighting each other, and the guy comes out aggressively and says some things about you, and then he reaches like this, you see the light shine on it, and you're like, no way, I'm not taking a chance, you shoot him. You could argue that you were acting reasonably given the facts that were given to you. Why do I say all this? I say all this to say, we don't know what was going on when Chud was assaulted, and for us to dismiss it and say, he got punched one time in the face, that doesn't constitute as deadly force.
Chud said that, bro. See, Myron's so stupid. This dude was recording while he was getting questioned by the police doing his arrest. He told us what happened. He said that I walked up to the guy, asked him, do they like my suit? And the guy said he had PSD, and he started wailing on me, and I had to pull my gun out and defend myself. He didn't say none of this shit that Myron just said. This is how stupid he is, bro. He's dumb. Exactly, 11. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Ack. This my but both of these are tethers, by the way. You know what I mean? Ack just standing on the side of righteousness right now, right? Of the truth, of the facts. This tether over here, I'm more food. He just gonna crash and burn. It don't matter. If it's anything against foundational black Americans, he gonna go against it. And that's why he looking so stupid in this video. Only low IQ, stupid, slow people would believe something that Myron's saying right now. Myron not coming with no facts. At the beginning of this stream, gentlemen, I showed y'all. Myron stated these are facts. Now he contradicting himself right now, saying that we don't know what's going on. We don't know this and we don't know that. But you stated that what you were saying was facts. And you wrong on every point. But you have to make it make sense because you're anti-black racism. And it's making you look stupid, just like Chud.
He can't say that. Let's say he got hit in the back of the head. Let's say he got hit in an area where it knocked the wind out of him and he wouldn't be able to defend himself.
None of that happened. None of that happened. See, we can't just address the facts here. He didn't get hit behind the back. None of that happened. Because he would have said that in the police report. He was recording while he was getting questioned by the police. He didn't say that he would get hit over head and all this shit that Myron just making up right now. Myron is making this shit up as he's talking. What case is Myron talking about? Because we can pull up the police report, gentlemen. You can pull it up right now. It's public in Clarksville. None of this shit that Myron is saying right now happened.
Say he got a hold of his mace. I know this dude carries mace around with him, right?
He didn't have no mace on him. When they searched him and they retrieved Chud's weapon and they searched his vehicle and they searched his property, he didn't have no mace on him. And that's a fact. But did Myron look at the police report? No. He have to create scenarios that wasn't a part of this case to try to justify his anti-black racism. Low IQ African.
So we don't know all the different provoking factors that led to Chud pulling the trigger. But when it comes to self-defense, it's never based on what the 2020 hindsight is, like me and you were doing. It's based on what was known to Chud at the time he pulled the trigger. That's the only thing that matters.
And what you're doing right now is an amazing defense attorney stance, and I like if I'm his attorney, I'm hiring you, a former law enforcement agent.
You're gonna go to jail.
As an expert witness.
You're gonna go to jail too.
In a jiffy. But there's a few things to consider, right? First and foremost, the reason why he's doing all these things is gonna end up hurting him, right? The fact that there's actually audio recorded at the moment where he's even explaining it, and it's now to the world, where he literally explains how it happened. He says, well, I went up to the guy. The guy says, hey, whatever.
Hey, this is very important, gentlemen. I want you to pay attention to this because like I said earlier, all this shit that Myron talk about is imagination. This is his imagination in his mind. Chud have already told us how it went down in the audio. So this is why it's so easy to debunk this African. Very easy.
Want to kind of engage. He says, yo, you better not say that chimping thing. I got PTSD. He explains that. None of his explanation said I was in fear for my life. Now, granted, you know, that's not the only time he's going to have.
He said he had to defend himself. But it's also, here's
that's a huge range.
You gotta remember.
Right. That's a huge range. Right? Like he hasn't established where he feels in, like.
You defend yourself by punching back, you coward. That's how you defend yourself. If somebody punch you, you punch them back. But in this African mind, he want to think, if somebody punch you, I have to defend myself by shooting you. And not only shooting you, he shot like 7 or 8 times. So he put other people's lives in danger at the courthouse. This dumb idiot done shot himself. That's how stupid this guy Dalton is. This dude shot himself, gentlemen. But Myron, only thing that he can see in his mind is defending yourself from a black man means that you have to shoot him dead. That's the only thing that makes sense to Myron. That's the only thing that makes sense that people that support Chud or that's defending this right now. Because it don't even rationalize in their mind that all Joshua Fox did was punch me. What the hell do I need to shoot him for and try to unalive him? All I got to do is defend myself by fighting back. I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the slow one. I don't know.
He's in fear of his life. He says the guy punches him. He never says, hey.
No, you don't have to fear for your life, Ak. It could be, it's not just that. It's not just like you feel like you're going to die. It could be serious bodily injury too.
Okay.
Serious bodily injury can also constitute for deadly force, right? Let's say you're a diabetic, right? And you know that your sugar's low.
Here we go with this
dude comes
scenario.
up to you and hits you, right? You already start seeing stars. Well, now, if you pull out a gun and shoot him, right? Because according to what you're saying, you're like, oh, a punch doesn't constitute as justification for deadly force. My argument to that is it can, depending on who the individual is. We also don't know if he didn't follow up with a flurry of punches. Every punch that he throws gives Judd more and more justification.
No, it don't.
Go kill that guy, whatever. And I know you mentioned before, yo, this dude walks around provoking people, etc. So check this out. Here's another thing that's very important. Your state of mind when you use the deadly force also matters. So if you've been getting death threats, if people have been threatening to kill you, if your address has been doxxed, if you've been going through situations where people are stalking you, whatever.
Why is that though, Myron? All of this is going to be brought up in court. Why is people stalking him? Why is he getting death threats? You think he walking around, reading the Bible, being nice to people? This is reactionary. This is the consequences from going around pepper spraying black people, macing black people, pulling his gun out on black people, antagonizing black people. This is his whole shtick on the internet. Of course he gonna get death threats. Of course he gonna get people doxing him. What you think? God damn, this dude's so dumb, bro. This is why the delineation movement is so important, because I don't want to associate myself with Africans, bro. These people are low IQ. He act like Chud was just getting death threats because he was going around singing the gospel. He brought this upon himself. Because if he was doing something productive, we wouldn't even know him. He wouldn't get no death threats. But Myron not going to bring that up. Myron ain't going to bring up the racism because he indulge in it. He profit off of it.
All of that actually gives Chud more, right, reasonable belief
No, it don't.
that his life is in danger and that he can use deadly force. Now, I don't have to say I agree with that or I'm happy that that's what it is. I'm just being objective here and unbiased that.
You being objective and biased here. This dude, all he do is scream, yell on the internet, make monkey sounds, talk about how black people are stupid. Black people are low IQ. White people is tired of us. But he's saying that he's trying to be objective here. Do any of y'all believe that, gentlemen? That Myron Gaines, this African tether, is being objective here? Really?
When you have threats on your life, you get doxxed and you're like a polarizing figure like him, his use of force ladder is much easier to climb because he can reasonably articulate that, look, I'm a controversial guy. People come up to me. People say they want to kill me. People have these threats against me, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I did what I did. Also, interesting side bit. The dude that punched him had made a post on social media saying that he was going to harm him.
So
we don't know if Chud knew that. He might have recognized the guy, or the guy might have said, I'm going to kill you. I knew I was going to run into you. I'm going to kill you. Or any of that stuff that's said can obviously be.
But he didn't initiate the confrontation with him. You idiot. Chud stated in the audio that he walked over to Joshua Fox talking about do you like my suit? Do you guys really believe that he's saying something? This dude is just sitting up here lying his ass off, bro. And it's so crazy that Academic is just sitting here allowing him to just lie. I guess he want to expose Myron to make him look more stupid, just like he did Sneeko. I guess you got to give him the platform to make himself look dumb and just make up scenarios, talking about some Chud knew what's up. This altercation would have never happened if Chud would have never approached this gentleman. If he would have just left court and went on by his business. Chud seen some black people and he went over there to do the same shit that he always do. Antagonize and disrespect black men. But y'all want us to believe that he went over there to have a cordial conversation. We haven't seen not one video of him having a cordial conversation with a black person. But why is he calling them a monkey, Myron? Why is he calling them the N-word with the hard ER that you indulge in as well? Why is he saying, why you chimping out? Why? All this shit that Myron is talking about right now, he's making it up. None of this shit is in the law.
Reasonably looked at as a threat on his life, which allows him to use deadly force. And keep in mind, you don't have to get hit, right?
Also, similarly, I'm going to leave a chimp's brain on the pavement. So
self-defense.
So that will be used. I will say, though, everything we're saying, and we're kind of like trying to operate from like this hypothetical type of stance.
Yeah, because we don't know all the facts. We don't know all of them. So,
But you said earlier you knew the facts, though, Myron. Now you want to say you don't know all the facts. You see how stupid he is? Now he want to say he don't know all the facts. But earlier in the stream, he said that these are the facts. This is why Chud is going to get off on self-defense. Because I heard some people that was watching the stream said that Fox ran 100 yards and chased him down and punched him in the face. Myron stated that this was facts. Now he want to say we don't know all the facts. That's why I'm breaking this down piece by piece, gentlemen, so you guys can really understand what we are witnessing here. We ain't just finna let him just talk his way out of this. We're going to break it down piece by piece because we productive black men over here.
It is kind of almost nerfed, though, by the fact that, yes, maybe if it was some random guy that didn't leave a long established history and trail of audio and video of him promising to do certain things or acting in certain situations. Keep in mind, there's also a video or some depiction of what happened, because according to the arrest warrant, they said that he was in a bladed stance with his weapon out before the guy ever punched him. So already you're cooked. Like, so the weapon is out.
Facts,
so if you then, so let's put it in perspective in how I'm going to do it.
And I want you guys, and that's very important that DJ Academic J said, right? Because this is actually in the police report. We're not going off hearsay and made up shit that Myron talking about. The police report said that they seen Chud Dalton in a bladed stance, right? Before any punch was thrown. So he was already reaching, right? A bladed stance is like this. He was already in a bladed stance. How would they know that? Because of the surveillance around the courthouse, of course. That's how they know. That's why they made the arrest. He already had his weapon drawn, like we have seen in many of his videos. And that's what Myron can't come to grip. See, it's already there. Myron seen the report. All y'all got to do is look at the police report. It tells you everything. It tells you what Dalton said. He recorded his confession of what happened. The police look at the surveillance in the courthouse. Y'all don't think the courthouse is surrounded with cameras? It's surveillance. They see it. They are right there in the middle of the courthouse fighting. To the point where people recorded it outside the window. And you really think Chud is finna walk away from this? That he was in fear of his life. That the only thing that he had to do to protect himself would shoot Joshua Fox. We gonna watch this case. We gonna stay on this, gentlemen. We gonna stay on this. We ain't letting this slide.
So you antagonize people with words. They now start to either, react back, maybe not even physically yet, and you have your gun out. Mm-hmm. This is like bait car. It seems like
he didn't antagonize them. It's important, Ak. He didn't antagonize them on this situation. The only fact pattern.
Okay, let's stop here. Myron said that he didn't antagonize him on this one right here, right? But then again, he did not acknowledge what DJ Academic just said, that the police put down in the report that he was in a bladed stance. Why did Myron address that? He already had his gun out. Where's the self-defense? Where's the fear of my life?
That matters is this situation. All the stuff he did before.
So he never called this guy a chimp.
No, what he said, what they told me was,
listen to me, gentlemen, hearsay, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they told you, Myron. We don't care. That's hearsay. You can't prove hearsay in court. They're not going to accept that.
You better not call me the N-word or say that I'm chipping out. And he goes,
well, why would he draw for his gun then? So suppose they're saying he's in a bladed stance with his weapon out. Why would he do that if the other party, remember you said that he walked away.
Exactly.
It seems like he's de-escalating. He's not antagonizing. Why would he need to pull his weapon unless you're saying this guy literally was an unhinged guy trying to attack him?
Sure, I can answer that. It was probably pepper spray. So Chud walked.
Like I stated, gentlemen, in the stream, and I want you guys to go look this up for myself so y'all won't think I'm lying, right? They searched Chud. They searched him. They confiscated his weapon after the shooting. They went to his truck, searched his vehicle. They didn't find no mace, no taser. Now, why would Myron go up here and say that it might have been pepper spray where they already came out and said it wasn't no pepper spray? It wasn't. So you can't use that. See, when you start lying, it's hard to keep up with your lie. Myron has to pull all this shit out the hat to make his anti-black racism make sense. Come on now. Pepper spray? But let's just run with that narrative that it was pepper spray. He didn't pull no pepper spray out. He pulled a weapon out and shot Joshua Fox. You idiot. So you want to say, it could have been pepper spray that he poured out. It wasn't, Myron. It was a gun that he poured out because he shot Joshua Fox. So that debunks that narrative. He didn't have pepper spray. It was a weapon. Duh, it was a shooting. Fuck, man. They found a bulletproof vest, a rifle, a shotgun, and some drugs. That's a fact. I also saw that as well. They found some marijuana in his vehicle, bulletproof vest, all that. This was his whole thing, was to unalive a black person. He was hoping that he completed the mission, but our good brother Joshua Fox survived like a true soldier, right? It didn't go in his. See, Myron, right? Listen, I'm trying to tell you guys something that's important. This is comical, by the way. I'm not taking this. This is not a serious conversation, right? We just being productive black men over here and using our logic and facts because we're not low IQ Africans like Myron Gaines is. That he's just this whole stream. How long have I been streaming? For about an hour now. Myron has been lying this whole hour stream. We've been live streaming right now, gentlemen. He just been making shit up. That's right, 11. And a plane ticket. I was going to get there. And they found a one-way plane ticket to Turkey. So he was going to try to do his series finale of a dead chimp on the pavement and fly over to Turkey. So he's not in the jurisdiction. But y'all just heard this tether say that it could have been pepper spray. You can't use that narrative, Myron. They already searched him. There was no pepper spray. And he shot him. So obviously it wasn't pepper spray. You dumb idiot. Let's get back into the content, gentlemen. Let's pay attention.
Walks around with bear mace all the time, and that's typically what he uses. So we don't know if he wasn't reaching for his bear mace.
But he wasn't. As we just stated, most of the gentlemen, that's what I'm saying. Shout out to the black men in the chat. Because y'all know the facts. That just go to show me that you guys has been paying attention. I prefer to call him by his real name, Amor Fudo. Is that I was. I was calling him by his first name, right? I be trying to, I'm trying to get used to how to say his name correctly. I just call him an African tether. You right, Reloaded. That's his name. Amor Fudo. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Reloaded channel. He do some great content over here. I don't miss a video every time he upload. Great commentary over there by that brother. He don't miss. Shout out to you, bro. But let's go back into these lies, gentlemen, because like I said, we productive black men over here. We have logic. We have intelligence. We are thinking. We are not emotional. We gonna break down these lie piece by piece.
What the CNN personnel who read the arrest warrant said he reached for his firearm and he stood in a bladed stance. And this was before the altercation.
Pay attention. He's reading the CNN report. I read the police report. This is what they said. He was in a bladed stance before any accident, any punch was thrown. Myron Gaines replied, maybe he was reaching for pepper spray. Again, the police report, no pepper spray was confiscated. It was weapons. It was drugs. No pepper spray. And to break it down more simple, gentlemen, if it was pepper spray that he was reaching for, he would have just pepper sprayed Joshua Fox. No, Joshua Fox got shot. So we can debunk that lie. It wasn't no pepper spray. He pulled out a gun and shot Mr. Fox, our good brother that survived. Let's get back into the content.
It's not illegal. Let's go with that fact pattern. Even though what I've been told is he got hit first, then you heard the gunshots.
Okay.
Let's assume that he was.
No, which I believe that too. I'm just saying there are some people where even after you got your gun out, they think you're not going to fire and they'll still hit you.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Perfect. Let's use that fact pattern. Let's dismiss mine. Let's use yours. Let's assume that the guy is walking towards him when he has a bladed stance saying, hey, you better not, which obviously implies he has a weapon. You can argue now that he's coming at me when I'm warning him I have a weapon. But this guy's crazy and wants to hurt me.
But technically that would also be assault, correct? Like if so you're telling me so you're telling me if I pulled out a loaded gun, okay, I'm having an argument with the guy and I pulled out a loaded gun on him, that's nothing? If you have a loaded gun on someone, remember there's been no physicality yet, and that person punches you, the person who punched you is in the wrong? Come on, Myron.
Okay, you said, hold on. You said reaching for. Now you're saying he pulled it out and pointed. That's a big difference. Reaching for versus this is two different things.
Okay. So I want to go by the exact wording. They're saying the arrest warrant is showing that.
Okay, guys, listen to this. He's about to read the police report. Listen.
He turned into a bladed stance and reached for his firearm.
Okay. This is what the police report said. He was in a bladed stance reaching for his firearm, not pepper spray.
Okay. It's not illegal to reach for your gun.
Okay.
It's not illegal.
Well, if someone
we don't even know if it's a gun yet. Like I said, he carries bear.
We know it's a gun, Mary. He shot him. Guys, I'm done. I gotta end this. Guys, I can't take it no more. I'm sorry. I'm getting tether fatigue right now. I'm getting tether fatigue, gentlemen. This is crazy, bro. Damn, like, you would think out of all the videos that we seen of white supremacists calling Myra the N-word, kicking him out of all only white spaces, disrespecting him, not accepting him, you would think that he'll try to denounce them and won't go this hard for them. Like, you would think that. But you gotta make a fool of yourself. Like when you indulge in this anti-black racism, you gotta make a fool of yourself because you have to make racism make sense. You have to make degeneracy make sense. This is crazy. This is why delineation is so important, black men. We are nothing like Myron. And I want white America to know this. We are nothing like Myron or DJ Academics. This is a Jamaican. This is an African. I am foundational black American. I am nothing like these two men that you guys are looking at on the screen. It's a big difference. God damn.
Mace with him
Well, but
too.
if you're saying self-defense, it works both ways. If someone feels you're reaching for a gun,
Right,
based on what they've heard you say in the past, and they punch you, it feels like it would be their self-defense, right?
Well, no, because he closed the distance and was the aggressor. The aggressor,
he said that Joshua Fox closed the distance. Myron, in his mind, he's running with this narrative that Chud walked away 100 yards. This is coming out of this is Myron. I'm quoting Myron. Chud walked away 100 yards. And think about this, gentlemen. 100 yards, that's a football field. How stupid is this Amor Food? 100 yards. Joshua Fox closed the distance. Chud the Builder, Chud the Bussy, stated in his police report that he walked up to Joshua Fox. He didn't say that he walked away. He didn't say that he was 100 yards away. He said that he asked them, did they like his suit? Joshua Fox said, I got PTSD. Don't be saying all that chimping out shit. And he started wailing on him. But Myron keeps saying that he closed it. Myron is creating his own case right now, gentlemen. He's creating his own case to justify his anti-black racism. Myron has to make up shit and continue to lie so that he can believe that Chud was in the right. He's moving the goalposts. God damn, dude. I'm getting tether fatigue, gentlemen. I'm
claims self-defense.
Well, the point I was trying to say is that threatening someone with a gun is the person being aggressor. If I have a gun on my hip and I'm arguing with you and I lift my shirt up that you can see the gun and I say, yo, Myron, what you want to do? Yo, what's up? We can do it any way you want. And you see the gun. That is the initial aggressive event. Even though I've not touched you. No, I've made a threat with a weapon. No?
Fair. But you're missing a very important part, Ak.
Okay, go ahead.
If let's use a scenario. Let's say me and you are beefing.
Okay.
I see you on the street, right? You see me coming towards you. We're in the state of Florida or Tennessee.
Okay.
Hey, Ak, I heard you talking that shit. Say that shit to me now. You want to get packed up? You go like this. Yo, don't fucking try it, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Right? I keep talking and I close the distance even more like I'm about to strike you. Bro, you don't got to wait for me to come up and strike you. You can pretty much reasonably believe that I'm trying to hurt you despite the fact that you gave me multiple warnings and we have a beef and a history where I'm threatening to, I'm going to pack you up. Now you have reasonable belief that I'm going to significantly hurt you or create serious bodily injury. That's all that's necessary. And I don't have a self-defense now because I was the one that started with you and I closed the distance. If I close the distance, I'm the aggressor. I no longer enjoy the benefits of a self-defense argument.
I feel like what you're saying is a tall order of a lot of circumstances that needs to fall.
Academic know that this is bullshit that Myron is saying. Academic knows it. That's why he's being calm. He's being relaxed. He's allowing Myron to just say a bunch of dumb shit right now. Because Myron let's just say it. Myron thinks he's white. He think he white. So he going to defend this as a white man. Because he always say, we tired of blacks. We tired of you N-words. Who is we, Myron? You an African tether. What are you talking about, we? Myron and Sneeko, I think they on the spectrum, bro. I think they on the spectrum. Because Academics is winning this debate because he got facts on his side. Myron got anti-black racism, so it's not going to make sense to him. So he has to try to make this make sense. You brandishing a firearm when somebody approaching you, or even if they punch you, you don't brandish a firearm. If y'all Chud the Builders and this African tether right here, if y'all take their word as law, it's going to be a lot of y'all in jail. It's a lot of men that's in jail that had that same sentiment as Chud, thinking just because you was indulged in a fist fight that you can shoot them. Okay.
All in his particular favor, despite any of the things that people have seen. But again, here's a few hurdles we have to get past.
Well, let's have fun with it then. So real quick,
Okay.
would it be fair to say the first fact pattern I gave you, right?
Yeah.
Which is what the people that are watching the stream on Pump Fun all told me.
Listen to his position, gentlemen. Listen. He said, let's go off this fact pattern of what the viewers told me. So he's positioned what these people done told him as facts with no proof, no evidence. No proof, no evidence. I'm going to get my Dr. Umar Johnson on, gentlemen. No proof, no evidence. And he just stated this as a fact pattern. No proof, no evidence. Hearsay, which is none and void in the court of law.
Walking around, he sees them pointing at him and laughing. He walks up to start a conversation. Hey, how you guys doing today? Hey, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you around here. All right, I can walk wherever I want, but it is what it is. Walks away. Guy closes distance. Says the stuff. I got PTSD. Call me a chip and see what happens. Well, or you gonna chimp out? Punches Chud. From all the witnesses I've heard from, he never called anyone and he didn't.
So the people that watch the stream, which is a bunch of low IQ white males that like to indulge in, anti-black degeneracy, right? But they got black fatigue. Gotcha. When have you guys seen one video of Chud walking to somebody and say, hey, how you guys is doing? Do you guys like my suit? You like what I got on? And somebody told him to leave, and he's saying that, I can stand wherever I want to stay. And he walks away, and the black person say, you better not say they chimp out. And they walked up and he didn't say the N-word. His whole thing is saying the N-word. Nobody would even know what this loser do or who he is if he wasn't basing his whole content strategy around antagonizing black men. Nobody would even know who he was. But Myron want us to believe, right? Because he's creating this fictitious situation that's not even real, that's not even in the police report of Chud walking away and Joshua Fox following him and punching him. Myron want us to believe that.
Say anything until the guy said, you better not say, oh, are you going to chimp out? Or sorry, are you going to say I'm chimp out? Blah, 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 threaten him. Then he says, oh, or what, you going to chimp out? Then that's when he struck him. That's the first fact pattern. So I think in that one.
He said that's the first fact pattern of what Chud the Builder supporters told him. He's going to acknowledge that as facts. Yeah, he getting paid, chat. Yeah, he make content on it. That's how he getting paid. His supporters are, giving him money. He's getting opportunities with different companies. Yeah, he getting paid, of course. Like most of these content creators is, right? They know most of their encounters with black people is positive, but they have to go find videos online to justify their anti-black racism. 99% of Chud interaction with black people did not end in violence. Nobody put their hand on him. Nobody shot him. Nobody did nothing. So what that should tell you, black people ain't that violent. How you trying to make it seem? You only had one incident out of all these viral clips that went around. Nobody put their hands on him. Nobody did nothing. Black people showed restraint. The narrative wasn't working. That's why they kept funding Chud. Like, please go out here and do something to black people, so we can run with the narrative and say, "Hey, look what the black people doing. They acting violent." It wasn't working, guys. So he had to take it up a notch to try to prove that okay, we are violent. So the fuck what? Just like everybody else. I will use violence when it's necessary. Who told you that I'm not violent? I'm prepared for violence. When it's at my doorstep, I am prepared for it. I'm not afraid to say that. Y'all not making no points because y'all trying to make it seem like black people are violent. You goddamn right I am. Push me to that limit and I'm going to show you.
He 1,000% has self-defense. He walked away.
I think not.
Provoke.
He said he got 1,000% self-defense. He walked away.
Guy closed the distance. He punched him first, and obviously shots were fired. We didn't see what happened, but you can hear a struggle. You can presume.
I think Dalton. I think that's his name, Dalton Etherly or whatever his name is. Him using chimp out will be very replaceable of him using the N-word in terms of it being seen as a fighting word. Okay? Someone tells you, hey, listen, I have a particular condition. Don't do this. And you say, wait, or you're going to chimp out. And that, I believe, is going to be seen not by every jury in every vicinity, but I think overwhelmingly, definitely enough for an indictment where people are like, well, why did you say it then? If the guy gives you a warning, that is a warning, right? Hey, don't start that other stuff or else I might have to react. I can't help myself. Well, I don't know if he said that, but then you then follow up by saying, don't say you're chimping out. That would then be, I would say, insightful, or what, a lot of, in many places, the law considers as fighting words. You don't think?
No, not at all, because that removes all autonomy from the guy, right? If we really had this whole concept of fighting words is ludicrous, because if we went off that precedent, like basically I could just say, I'm a retard, and then fucking punch you and be justified in it. Like, that would never fly, right? Him saying, I have PTSD, you better not say, right? And then he says, or what, you gonna chimp out? Like, and then the guy punches him? Dude, like, we're all adults here. Like, that's just completely unacceptable behavior. And he closed the distance against him, too. Keep in mind, bro, whoever closes the distance and is the aggressor is the loser in this situation.
Who told you that, Myron? Where that facts at? You keep saying that he closed the distance because of what some losers told you. There's no facts to back up what you saying, Myron. That's what I'm saying. You so stupid. This dude got punched and shot somebody. Let me say that again. He got punched and shot somebody. Gentlemen, can y'all help me out, please? I'm losing brain cells listening to Myron Gaines. I promise you my IQ is going to be a lot lower than what it is right now once I get done reviewing this stream. I really feel like I'm on Myron Gaines level right now. Dalton got punched and he resorted to attempted murder.
Okay. And I know you said this before, but do you really believe that the only reason why you saw the charges? You can't believe that all the charges are coming from, okay, just societal pressure and, hey, let's throw this to a grand jury and see what they say. You don't believe any of his actions. And well, let me start with this. So do you think he's justified in the shot?
With the first fact pattern I gave you?
Again, listen to what he just said, gentlemen in the chat. He just asked him, was he justified into shooting Joshua Fox? The first words out of Armor Food mouth was, if we go back to the fact pattern, who fact pattern, Myron? What you saying that how this situation happened, you the only person that's saying this. The police not saying this. The DA not saying this. Nobody is running with this narrative but you and the people that support this degenerate behavior. I can't read. Myron, show me where it is at so I can read it. Right? So I can pull up, so I can defend you. How about that? Now reload it. He ain't going to do that. Myron know not to go out and even attempt to do what Chud the Bussy did. A lot of these white dudes won't do it. You know why? They would rather allowed Chud to crash out for them. That's why they donated over $250,000, close to $300,000, because they too coward to do that. Because Act in the beginning said white people are tired of not being themselves. What? Not being racist? Who's stopping you? We're not stopping y'all from saying the N-word. Go ahead. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be resolved of the consequences. See, y'all work around black people. Y'all have black people in y'all family. Y'all have businesses that black people patronize. And that's why y'all can't be a blunt out racist like Chud and Charlie Kirk was. That's why you had so many mediocre white males on the streets crying when Charlie Kirk got his neck blew off. May he rest in shit. Because they was living their racism through these low IQ white males. Because they can't walk around and call you an N-word to your face, gentlemen. Because they understand the consequences and the threat that come behind that. Myron wouldn't dare do nothing like that. So Myron gonna stand behind this screen on YouTube, screaming and yelling, making monkey sounds, calling black people the N-word with the hard R. That's the furthest he gonna get with the disrespect to black people. Because he not gonna do that in public. He not. And a lot of these white dudes not gonna do that. That's why you only see one here, one there, one over here. It's only going to be a small portion of them doing this. Because they know we'll kick their ass.
Let's go with that.
Again, from the people that saw the pump stream?
From the people that saw the pump stream. Pay attention.
Self-defense all day. The guy came to close the distance on him.
So you could shoot him.
Well, again, we don't know what Chud knows when he decided to pull the trigger. He could have hit him twice and knocked the wind out of him. He could have maybe had a weapon from what Chud saw. He could have said,
guys, if somebody knocked the wind out of you and you pull out a gun and shoot them, good luck in court. Good luck. If somebody knock you out and you pull out a gun and you murder them, good luck with it.
something like, oh, you're going to die today. Like, all of these different factors can easily help or justify an escalation to deadly force.
None of this happened.
Obviously, a fight situation, every millisecond, the facts are changing, which will allow you to justify the use of deadly force.
Wow,
so,
bro, this is crazy.
You know, you could say, oh, one punch doesn't suffice. But as I explained before with the female example, well, to a female, it suffices, right?
Listen to this fool.
By definition, that means the person that is using the force must have a reasonable reason or a reasonable belief that they were in fear of death and or some serious bodily injury, which serious bodily injury could just be a broken bone. It's not that high of a barrier. So with the fact pattern that I have, I think it's self-defense all day. Now, the other one you gave, because you gave a second scenario where you said he came to him and he was bladed like this.
Nigga, that's the facts. That's the police report. That's not what academic scenario is. That's not it. This is actually on the police report. What you just said was just some made up bullshit. And you're going to have some people out there lose their lives because y'all going to go out here thinking that you can go out here and indulge in, and not only indulge in it, you starting this stuff with people. You initiating this conflict with people. And if they put their hands on you, that means that you can unalive them. Myron is preaching this to his audience. Black men, make sure y'all protect yourself out here.
And he was reaching for something. It's not illegal to reach for something. And we don't even know if it was his mace or his gun.
We already know that it wasn't mace because he pulled the gun out and shot him. He didn't pull it out mace. So that, stop saying that. They already searched him. There wasn't no mace. So that lie have already been debunked. He didn't walk away. You just made that up.
Always carries mace around him with him as well, and he normally always maces people first when they come to him. So we don't know if it was the mace.
Establishing that he was reaching for something, especially given the fact that there hasn't, unless maybe he identified there was a threat before, kind of shows that he was already in a position to be the offender, or he was anticipating getting hit, but there is no threat at that point, right? And apparently he doesn't get hit until he says something, which that I would consider and I think that would constitute fighting words, right? Again, you can't just antagonize people and shoot them. Like that would be like the greatest thing ever, right? Like you go out, be like, you a bitch, you a bitch. The person hits you, you shoot him dead. Like that would be like the best thing to just trip people out their spot. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, the thing is, bro, is like saying someone's chimping out is not fighting words. Like,
absolutely,
are you gonna chimp out? It's not fighting words.
No, yes, it is, bro. Yes, it is.
Like,
it's not fighting words to you. See, Maury wanna position himself that it don't matter what you say to a black person. That doesn't mean that a black person should even do nothing to you. So he gonna try to soften everything that's disrespectful to a black person. If somebody call you N-word, you shouldn't do nothing. If somebody say you chipping out, you shouldn't do nothing. If somebody call you a beach, you shouldn't do nothing. That doesn't mean fighting words. No, that doesn't mean fighting words to you because you're not receiving the disrespect. What I might receive as disrespect might be different than the next black man. See, you're not going to trick me out my spot by calling me the M-word. I'm not emotionally connected to that word. I'm going to laugh in your face. But it depends on what mood I am in that day. I'm going to just be real. But my fellow black brother over here, he might be on one today. So if you go to him disrespecting him, he might take you out. So what disrespect to you might be disrespect to somebody else. So you just can't say what ain't disrespect towards black people. Because, gentlemen, they just want us to receive the disrespect. And if we react to it, why you reacting off a word? Why you black people acting like this and chipping out over a word? But let somebody disrespect them or disrespect their family, somebody who they love, and let's see how they act.
Fighting words?
A racial, anything towards, if it's a homophobic slur, a racial epithet, it's all of that is going to go towards you are using speech in a way to violently offend, to either cause a reaction or to start an altercation. Right? If someone, all right, let me ask you a question. If someone walked up to me and be like, "Fuck your dead grandma," is that fighting words to you?
No.
Okay, well, all right. So you might be a little bit different. To most people,
he's a tether. Of course, he's different.
I would be like, this guy's fucking weird and leave.
Okay, so you have much more tolerance.
Y'all heard what Myra said? Myra said if somebody says something to him, he just gonna say these guys weird and leave. I'm finna show y'all something. Watch this.
Like I think if we've looked at the history of what's called, even fighting words, really even offending people, just to get them off, whatever, interrupting and offending people, especially with slurs, are usually generally considered that. You get what I'm saying?
Right now, it's words meant to incite violence, such as they may not be protected under the First Amendment.
Chimping out is that. Chimping out. When I hear chimping out, you basically said the N-word.
I don't think that constitutes as a justification to punch somebody.
It's not. No.
There's
Wait.
No justification to punch somebody.
No.
Zero.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that it means you could punch someone. I'm arguing that the rhetoric that you approach that person with is now eliminated what you claimed you were there to do, which is practice your First Amendment right. Because now you're not practicing your First Amendment right because you've approached with words and type of speech that's not protected. So already your goal is not even within the bounds of what is actually accepted. And then what happens from there, we now have to look at differently. So now, okay, all right, fine. Let's say it was some protected speech and the guy punches him. Well, if it stops there, the guy gets an assault charge. It's a simple battery, right? That's like a misdemeanor some places, unless he really goes crazy on you. Maybe it would turn into a felony. But that's what it is there. When that is the only precursor, right? We got to, like, again, and maybe for your audience, I'm using a ridiculous example. It's like, if we all agree to go shoot up like our enemy's block, right? And we all hop in a car and we're going to go there, right? And during the commission of this crime, one of us gets shot. They're probably going to charge us with murder. Or if we go to rob the bank and one of us get killed by the security guard, yeah, you guys get charged with the murder. So it's like, in a lot of cases, you got to follow the sequence of events of how this crime is committed.
Facts.
Or how it devolves to the last step. So Chud is the first offender by utilizing these fighting words that then, again, it doesn't justify, but it's the sequence of events. right? Like, for example, you didn't rob the bank yet, but walking into the bank, you had the intent of robbing, and then the security guard shoots your man, right? So again, you got to follow the sequence of events, and in none of the sequence of events is this guy being just unnecessarily provoked and unnecessarily being just like completely, hey, let us call you a name that is provocative, you know, or just, you know, provoke you. And I think that's where.
So okay, yeah. So number one, in this scenario, like I said before, Chud wasn't the first offender because the guy came up to him. So it was the guy.
Well, he started having a conversation first with Chud had started.
He said, hello, how you guys doing? He didn't swear at them. He didn't say anything. He walked.
He want us to believe that Chud walked up to a black man and said, hey, how you doing? Like he trying to have a friendly conversation. Okay, fool.
Then that's when the guy came up and said he knew who he was. He was like, hey, you better not say that chip out shit to me or call me. Otherwise, there's going to be problems because I got PTSD, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, or what? You going to chimp out? Then he strikes Chud. Also, real quick, assuming that let's assume Chud did. Let's go best case scenario for the prosecution. Let's say still is not considered a fighting word.
Yes, it is.
According to U.S. law.
It don't matter. It's fighting words to us.
And then on top of that,
hold on. Wait.
It's not a fighting word.
Fighting words aren't necessarily just all spelled out. It's fighting words have a meaning behind them, which means anything that has, and this is why, you know, the Sneeko debate constantly comes up, is like, if there's a shared meaning of offense or provoke, me trying to provoke you, that is going to be seen as a fighting word. There's not like clearly defined fighting words.
Yeah, no, of course. But what I'm saying is, because you said racial terms are considered fighting words, they're not. Now, what you're referring to is within certain contexts.
A white man calling a black guy the hard ER or saying he's chimping out, that is as fighting words as could be. Come on.
Okay.
Facts.
In the United States of America?
Okay,
Yes.
Again, what you might constitute as fighting words isn't constituted as fighting words according to U.S. law. I want to be clear about this. Like, you might take offense and be like, yo, those are fighting words, I'm whooping your ass. But according to the law, the term isn't a fighting word. Now, I'm going to be charitable. Let's assume the word is used with other behaviors that might be...
Wait. Are you saying that could never be a fighting word, or you're saying just in itself it's not a fighting word, but contextually could? Yeah. Because contextually, the way this guy, when I hear him say chimping out, I hear him saying the N-word. Like my brain substitutes it.
Myron know that. He know that.
Remember, everything. Notice how you respond to me, like, you know, from your subjective take.
I'm not doing the anecdotal thing here. I think we're this is where we probably depart in many, like, you know, mutual thinking. I think remember, listen, you know, even my audience know I am not Tariq Nasheed.
Here we go with this bullshit, this tether shit. I'm not Tariq Nasheed. They try to justify. This is a signal to white America that I'm one of the good ones, because he can't just defend black people because he's a black man, right? He have to make the statement that, my audience know I'm not Tariq Nasheed because I don't usually defend black people, but I'm gonna defend black people right now. What the fuck you gotta say that for? Because you a tether, that's why.
They know, like, listen, when ACT feels offended by this is something that the majority of people who are
academics, we don't give a damn what you feel offended by, dude. You could be offended or not offended. That doesn't justify foundational black Americans, whether we receive something disrespect or not, based off what you think. That's the problem with Myron right now. Both of you tethers. Y'all don't see certain things as what we see as disrespect because y'all not us. We are not the same. Y'all are Africans. We're not. We're not the same people. And that's why I have a problem with people like DJ Academics and Myron Gaines. Because they hold the same mindset and the same sentiment as these white supremacists against foundational black Americans. They want to tell us what the fuck ain't disrespect. When we telling these people what's disrespect, that ain't disrespect. This is not fighting words. Okay, try it then. Try it. Nobody is stopping y'all. Go ahead. So let me just state the fact there, because what you don't see as disrespect, DJ Academics, Jamaican, that doesn't solidify what black Americans deem as disrespect. Let me make that clear.
You know, melanated are going to feel offended by. This is not normal. Like, and I know when you say that you wouldn't feel offended by the N-word, I think you're the very small minority. I think if you walk up to most people that are consider themselves black or even brown or have some ancestry that emanate from that sector, if they heard a white man say the N-word to them, immediately it would offend. They would feel like someone is trying to either oppress them or, and again, it's just the word is loaded with meanings for people of a certain color. You right, saying that you could brush it off is very different.
All right, let's go into a scenario. Okay, are black people adults and full-fledged members of society?
Here we go.
Absolutely.
So if they're adults and full-fledged members of society, right, that have autonomy, well, that also comes with responsibility. If you punch somebody for saying a word just because you're a black, that actually looks bad on the black race.
I'm glad you said that, Myra. I'm glad you said that. Just because somebody say a word, right, you shouldn't get offended about it. You shouldn't chimp out. It makes the black race look bad. Okay. I hear you, Myra. I hear you. Let's just see Myron, test this theory. Right? Myron want to give us advice on how we should act towards disrespect. Let's see, do Myron hold this same sentiment, right?
I just come to agree from across the river.
I don't know you, man. I don't know you.
This is a gentleman approaching Myron Gaines, saying whatever he's saying. Let's see what Myron allowed words to make him act violent, want to fight, and chimp out. Let's see, gentlemen.
I don't know, bro. Just bounce, bro. Just bounce, bro.
I don't know you. I don't know you, bro, but
look at him. Look at him. The guy rode off in his bike. Look at him. He's still chasing him down. Look at him. Taking off his stuff. Look at him, gentlemen. The guy has already rolled his bike away. Right here. Look at Myra chipping out. Look at him taking off his hoodie knowing that he ain't about their life. Look at him. Knowing that he ain't finna fight nobody.
Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, good time.
how are you? Sorry, man. I was about to fucking kill this guy.
He said he was finna effing unalive this guy. You heard that part? Let me play it back.
Sorry, man. I was about to fucking kill this guy.
He was finna unalive this guy, which we know you wasn't, because he said some words to him. How ironic. So you have low impulse control? This make the African Sudanese race look bad? Because a guy on a bike said something to you, Myron? You had to chase him down? You doing the thing that you said that Joshua Fox did. Chud was walking away and he followed him. You followed that man on that bike. Look at this. He rode off. Look at the guy. Myron walking down on this guy that's on this bike right here. This guy has de-escalated the situation. He was once right here and now he's riding off. And Myron is following him, antagonizing this gentleman. Taking off his hood, ready to fight. But this make the black race look bad when we do it. Wow, gentlemen, the hypocrisy at its best. And listen what Myron about to say, gentlemen. Listen what Myron about to say.
Sorry, man. I was about to fucking kill this guy.
I was finna fucking kill this guy. That's what he said. Oh my God.
Like,
look at him chimping out. He's chimping out.
you coming back?
Look at
You
him.
come back? Come back. Come back. I'll fuck you up right now. What's good?
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him chasing the guy down. He's chasing the guy down. This guy is on his bike all the way. This guy is literally 50 yards away from him. But Myron walked away And Myron, he couldn't use no self-defense case because the guy de-escalated the situation and rolled off in his bike. Myron walked inside the gate, steady antagonizing this guy. Oh, you want more? Come back. He's asking for the violence and then walk towards the gentleman. But Myron want to have a defense for Chud the Builder? Wow. Look at him walking. You can't even barely see Myron. He's chasing the guy down.
Myron, come on, dude. Come on.
Knowing that he's not about that life, he only did that because he probably think that he can beat dude up. Look at this coward. Look at this African. Do this make Sudanese look bad?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, he's coming back?
Look at him. This the third time. Look at him.
What's good? Come over here.
Look at him chipping out.
Come over here. Dude, I'll fuck you up right now. Come over here. Come over here.
He trying to be tough in front of that Waller dude, that white boy.
Exactly.
Showing out in front of the white man.
You're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy.
Damn, Myron. All he did was say some words to you, Myron. Damn. What happened? What happened to the impulse control? What happened to it's just a word? Right? Let's just go back. Let's just go back. Let me make sure that I heard this correctly. Right?
Himself black or even brown or have some ancestry that emanate from that sector, if they heard a white man say the N-word to them, immediately it would offend. They would feel like someone is trying to either oppress them or, and again, it's just the word is loaded with meanings for people of a certain color. You saying that you could brush it off is very different.
All right, let's go into a scenario. Okay, are black people adults and full-fledged members of society?
Are black people adults and full-fledged members of society, right? Like we can't, like black people shouldn't react to disrespect. That's basically what he's saying. It's just a word. Are y'all functional adults? Do y'all have impulse control? It's just a word. Right? Okay, let's keep going.
Absolutely.
So if they're adults and full-fledged members of society, right, that have autonomy, well, that also comes with responsibility.
Okay.
If you punch somebody for saying a word,
okay,
just because you're a black, that actually looks bad on the black race.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you this, if I went to a Jewish neighborhood and started throwing Roman salutes and saying, I pretty much won't have to worry about anything. They're not going to come up and punch me.
Right. They're going to bomb buildings. That's what they're going to do. But Myron said, hey, they make the black race look bad. Right? Don't just, react off words. Let's see. Can Myron do it?
I don't know you, man. I don't know
Look,
you.
listen to this guy.
Just bounce, bro. I don't know you. I don't know you, bro, but
Look at him. Following the guy. Look at him. Following him. And Myron, if he would have got beat up by this guy, he would have probably pulled out a weapon. But he would have lost his self-defense case because, look, he's actually chasing this guy down. Look at him.
I don't know you, bro, but
Look at him. Chimping out. But it's just words, Myron.
come back over here. Come back over here.
Look at he try to act like he tough. Knowing that he ain't finna fight nobody. Trying to show out in front of the white man, knowing damn well he ain't about that life.
Yeah, good time.
Sorry, man. I was about to fucking kill this guy, bro.
He said, I'm finna effing kill this guy, man. Damn, off words? Golly. You was finna unalive this man? That don't look too good for the Sudanese, right? That make the Sudanese community look bad, Myron.
Like,
Let's see how many times Myron can't control his emotions. Right?
you coming back?
There you
You
go.
come back?
Chimping out.
Come back. I'll fuck you up right now. What's good? What's good?
Chill, bro. Chill. All right, chill.
I love it. I love it. Look at Myron. He's chipping out.
Bro. Come on. Myron, come on, dude. Come on.
Knowing he can't even fight, bro. This dude know he a coward. He's showing out in front of Josh Waller, this guy right here. in front of the white man. He want to make it seem like he's tough, knowing that he ain't gonna bust a grape.
Yeah, it was great.
Because when that black dude came to his studio, and Myron had the gun pointing towards him, dude told him to step out and squabble. Myron he didn't have that same energy with that black dude that clip that went viral, or that black dude that was at his door telling him to come out. Myron didn't do that. Myron pulled that gun out.
Oh, he's coming back?
Look at him. Again, for the third time.
Come over here. Come over here.
Low impulse control.
Come over here.
Look at him. Showing out in front of Justin Waller.
What you gonna do? Exactly, you motherfucker. You're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy.
Oh, black people can't. It's just a word, black people. You shouldn't be feeling disrespect from a word.
If you get that offended over words, that's very bad, bro. Very bad. If you get offended like that over words, that could put you in jail. That could get you hit with an assault and battery charge, a deadly weapons charge, whatever the it may be. God forbid a manslaughter or murder charge because you can't control yourself. 5 seconds. You couldn't control yourself. Now you spending 50 years. You're getting mad at some dude calling someone else a name on the internet. Like, think about that. Talking about haram this, haram that. You're a kafir that. Murtad, all these other bitch ass shit that if they had told me this shit in person, I'll fucking punch them. Call me murtad to my face, I'll fucking knock you out. Extremely disrespectful shit that they would never fucking say to me in person. Ever. Because they know that it would be a warrant to knock them out right then and there.
Knock him out. That's what he said, gentlemen. Over words. He said he gonna knock somebody out over words. But if black people feel like they want to knock somebody out over words, they have low impulse control, they violent, they adults. It make the black community look bad when a black person feel disrespected and they react off violence from this African tether. It make black. If I go out here and defend my honor as a man and not allow somebody to disrespect me, it makes black people look bad. But Myron is indulging in the same behavior, chasing people down the street.
I don't know you, bro. Just bounce, bro.
Look at this.
I don't know you, bro, but
Look at him. Showing out. But for the white man. All of this is performative, by the way. He's not ready to fight.
come back over here.
Look at him. Taking off his hoodie, showing out in front of the white man. It's hilarious, bro. Oh, Omu Ford got the nerve to talk about us.
Again!
I guess I kind of give you credit for working up the balls to unblock me, Myron, even if it was to make an absolute fool of yourself. Myron says to me, take a clip out of context when I'm responding to death threats. This is why your dumb ass is getting sued into poverty by the Tates for lying, and you beg for money every day. So this is what got Myron's panties in a twist.
If you get that offended over words, that's very bad, bro. Very bad. If you get offended like that over words, that could put you in jail. That could get you hit with an assault and battery charge, a deadly weapons charge, whatever the it may be. God forbid a manslaughter or murder charge because you can't control yourself. 5 seconds. You couldn't control yourself. Now you spending 50 years. You're getting mad at some dude calling someone else a name on the internet. Like, think about that. Talking about haram this, haram that. You're a kafir that. Murtad, all these other bitch ass shit that if they had told me this shit in person, I'll fucking punch them. Call me murtad to my face, I'll fucking knock you out. Extremely disrespectful shit that they would never fucking say to me in person. Ever. Because they know that it would be a warrant to knock them out right then and there.
You made a blanket statement saying it is very bad ever if you get offended over words. Then you said if people said particular words to your face, you'd fucking punch them. And then you're defending Andrew Tate's lawsuit. This is why your dumbass is getting sued into poverty for the Tates by lying. Alright, fuckface, name one lie I've ever said about the Tates. I guarantee you can't. So this post is Myron getting offended over words.
Right.
Defending his friend, suing people for getting offended over words. A week after saying no one should get offended over words.
It's only control, gentlemen. That's all it is. It just, they want to control black people action once they, are being met with disrespect. They don't want you to react. They don't want you to respond. They just want you to sit there and take the disrespect. Because if not, they're going to call you all these different names, which we don't give a damn. We don't care.
To support my legal defense against Andrew Tate's lawsuit for him getting offended over words, go to givesendgo.com/free speech versus Tate. Bit of an update, Myron's still chirping. You deserve to be sued into the ground, you piece of shit. You have been lying on me, Andrew, and others for years for profit. You thought you could talk shit, lie, spin narratives for money with no consequence. Now your fat ass is gonna find out. This guy is so fucking stupid. He doesn't even understand that he's contradicting himself again. Myron, should we get offended over words or not?
Right.
But wait, there's more. Yeah.
Only us, right? Only us. We shouldn't get offended. But if Myron get offended, oh, he ready to fight. He ready to unalive. This dude said on air that he's ready to unalive somebody.
This was in response to DMs threatening to kill me because of my criticisms of praying in Times Square. But as usual, you're looking for cheap clicks, which is why you're a fat disabled I'm disabled because I'm looking for cheap clicks. What the fuck? You're a fat disabled loser begging for handouts after you created the lawsuit that's gonna make you poor. You fucked around and now your fat ass is finding out. So again, Mr. We shouldn't be offended over words.
Right.
Supports people filing frivolous lawsuits because they're offended over your words. I think this guy's actually too stupid to be able to form an opinion. He's
Definitely.
just saying shit and he doesn't even understand what the fuck he's saying, and he's too stupid to realise that he's still contradicting himself. So anyway, my invitation to Myron, name one lie I've said about you or your little heroes, the Tates. I guarantee you.
Damn, so the white man calling you stupid, bro. The white man come on, Myron, you look up to the white man. There's a white man, he called you stupid. I call Myron stupid this whole stream, by the way, because he just made up a bunch of lies and he dumb. But he don't preach the shit that he's talking about. He out here attacking people, running up on people off words, losing his mind. But he want to tell black people that they don't have no, low impulse control, right? But let's hear, right? For a lot of people that like to say that it's just a word, let's hear what this professor or what this lady got to say, behind, when people say it's just a word.
He said, why are black people so controlled by a word?
Why are racists so controlled by a color? Perhaps they are new to this here planet, but words mean things. Welcome to the concept of language. I can't believe this has to be explained to anyone over the age of 5, that words are used to communicate messages, stories, form civilizations and societies. Wars have been started because of an exchange of words. God sends people to hell over words, not their pigment, their words. So by their logic, God, I guess, is chimping out too. This is why he said in Proverbs, there is power in the tongue, and the tongue has the power of life and death. God cast Lucifer out of heaven because of his words, when he too practiced the sin of supremacy. James says the same mouth people use to praise God is often used to curse human beings made in God's image. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. This is how important even God views words. So I guess God is controlled by words too. Why do black people have a reaction to violent language? Oh, I don't know. Because they're human. The same way a bigot's mother would have a reaction to a complete stranger approaching them on the street and calling them a cunt. The same way an Asian or a Latino would have a reaction to derogatory slurs about their ethnic group. The same way your boss would have a reaction if you called them something disgusting and vile, or your mother or your pastor. They are human beings. Words mean things, boys and girls. If that wasn't the case, why cry over a woman's false allegation against you? If Sarah decided to tell the police that Connor forced himself on her and it wasn't true, I'm guessing they wouldn't have an issue with it because words don't mean things. Or do they suddenly matter in this instance?
Well, I think those say, well, a false allegation is against the law.
What's a law? A collection of words. Right. The society agrees, carries authority.
And a lot of these white supremacists like to throw around they Christian and they live by the Bible, which most of the wars that happened was because of wars, right? Because of words. Most of the things that y'all hear that happens in y'all religion is because of words. God would send you to hell because of words. The devil got cast out of heaven because of words. You say this to this group because of words. But when it comes to black people, we not supposed to respond off words. I don't know if you gentlemen is taking this sentiment, not me, because I guarantee you a certain word will bring out the violence in you. That's why you supposed to always be prepared for violence when it's necessary. You think I give a damn because y'all out here saying that black people read off a word? So what? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You absolutely correct. Y'all think we supposed to be docile and just sit around and just allow anybody to disrespect us? You out of your mind. But gentlemen, it's a good stream, guys. We gonna stay on this Chud the Bussy situation, right? We just debunked Myron and all his lies and all this made up shit, right? To try to justify his anti-black racism. But the productive black men over here, we see right through this shit, bro. We just debunk you. We laughing at you, Myron. Because all this shit that you just said about black people, that they shouldn't react off violence. I just played a video clip of you running down on a man 3 times because he said some words to you. And you even threatened to unalive this gentleman. And you said if black people react off word, they make the black community look bad. Do that make Sudanese look bad? Do it make the Sudanese community look bad? Well, y'all already look bad. Y'all taking showers with cow piss and all type of shit. That's why your family, your daddy with his loser ass had to come over here up under us and make it happen because he couldn't cut it over there in Africa. Like most of y'all tethers. You welcome. But y'all not finna dictate how we react to disrespect. It's not gonna work. I think we should set the standard of kicking your ass if you disrespect. I don't care. More of these mediocre white boys need to get their ass kicked. For self-defense, by the way, YouTube. I'm not advocating for violence, YouTube. I love YouTube. I love YouTube. But if you think that we finna just sit around and allow y'all to say whatever, do whatever y'all want to do, come in our space and just antagonize us, and we supposed to just sit there because we afraid of y'all calling us violent, okay, so be it. But anyways, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. It was a great stream. Shout out to the productive black men